Devlin here with you, and welcome to another edition of Devlin's Pirate Radio Show. And I'm feeling a little giddy because I'm not alone tonight. I have got a co-host with me. He is no stranger to this show because he has been on before. I like to have people come back, and I like when they come back, that means they had a good time, or we don't have him tied up. He actually came on his own benefit here. I was just thinking, this is episode 40, and I was reading up on this. They claim that when people start podcasts, most give it up by episode 6. I don't know if this is true or not, but they usually get bored, unless you become really in love with it and you stay. The reason I'm saying this is, this man was my very first co-host, and after the first episode, he wrote me and said, I need to be part of this. Now, I assumed he was a really fan of the big episode. He told me he was, and I believe him. But then I thought, well, maybe he thought maybe I'd be done after 6, and he wouldn't get another chance to be on it. But guess what? I got him back on here, and I welcome back Doug Millar.
Thank you. Thank you very much thank you first for having me back.
Were you getting nervous because it was so long?
Yeah. No, the introduction?
No. Were you getting nervous because
it was so long in between?
Back in March, yeah,
yes,
I think it was.
Was it back in
March, April is when I started, and you were like number 4.
Yes. Yeah, no, no, you know what? I was just so thrilled to be a part of the first one that I wasn't even thinking, oh, I hope he asks me back to do another one. I was like, you know what? I got to do one. I'm happy. I got to be his... Like, I will always have that feather in my cap of being your first guest.
Yes.
Or first
I was your
co-host.
first. I hope I was gentle with you.
It was pretty good.
No, and this, I don't want to say this is my last episode, because I do have episodes of the year still to come, but I did the math, and this is probably my last co-host and I decided I wanted you to come back.
Well, it's a great honor, and I can't thank you enough for having me back.
Well, I am excited to have you. And if you did not hear our first show, you should go back and listen to that, because it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I think, if I recall correctly, we had so much fun talking with one another, because, it was very conversational, that podcast could have easily ran 2 or 3 hours possibly.
Doug and I have been talking pretty much for a good hour and a half before this podcast. So if we have nothing to say tonight, that's why. No, I love that, and I think I said that we were acquaintances.
Yes.
But I want to say that we're officially friends now.
Oh, I like that.
Well, when we get together, we just talk like we haven't seen each other, and it's just so comfortable with you.
You know what? I think I may have said it to you before, but if I haven't, it's very much like we're kindred spirits in a lot of ways.
I love that. I love that saying, and I do get it.
Yeah. No. We talk a lot of pop culture.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do anyhow.
But we have a lot of the same tastes, and what I find most interesting about talking to you about these things is that I generally learn something new every time I talk to you. Something that I didn't know before. We were talking about I Love Lucy earlier, and you were talking about how innovative Ricky Ricardo was. I had no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so things like that, like, I learned things, and it was like, oh, I have that little interesting tidbit.
I knew learning so much TV crap would pay off, because people just like, Really? I watch any documentary on any of those kinds of shows and stuff, and I didn't think we'd be praising Ricky Ricardo
I know.
to start, but why not? He was innovative, and if you don't know, go watch some documentaries, because
That's right.
Not to mention, we're blown away that I Love Lucy is really the first mixed marriage on television.
Yeah.
The 1950s.
And like you were saying earlier, nobody seemed to bat an eye at the fact that it was a mixed marriage. Everybody thought, oh, well, yeah, this seems normal.
And no matter what your feelings about Lucille Ball are, she is a comedian that was a famous redhead on black and white television.
That's right.
But we all knew she was the crazy redhead. That's something. I'm the crazy redhead on radio.
Yes, that's
I'm
right.
not as red as I used to be. But you don't want to know what I offer when people say, you're not a redhead anymore.
The carpet do match the drapes.
Yes,
Fair
I
enough.
do. You want to see pubes? I'll show you red. That hasn't gone brown yet. Okay, Pubes and Ricky Ricardo.
All right.
Let's get to
Let's change, shall we?
Now, last time you were here, how's things been going in your life? What's new and amazing with Doug Millar?
Just really getting ready for Christmas at this point. I'm bringing home a tree on Friday, so we'll trim the tree as a family on Friday.
Do you cut the tree down, or do you go to one of those?
No, we generally go to a lot. I would like to go and cut one down one of these times, but I think this will be the last year we get a real tree. I think
so. Your chances of cutting down a tree
are pretty slim. When I was a kid, actually, when I was a kid, we used to all load on. It would be my family, so my parents and my brother. And then my Uncle Bill's family, which was him and his wife, my Aunt Lou, and their 2 kids, and my grandmother and grandfather, and we would all get on. They had a bus. I have a home movie of us on a bus going to cut down Christmas trees. And we were pushing each other down in the snow, and my grandfather and grandmother are drinking on the bus.
Oh, the good old days.
Oh, they were
social
drinking, smoking cigarettes, singing Christmas carols. Yeah. My grandmother was clearly drunk.
With the children in the bus, all tight. Now, those
right.
are the good old days. We didn't turn into monsters.
No, it was one of the fondest memories I have.
Wonderful. So you're not going to chop down your last tree?
You know what? I think it comes down to a monetary thing, right? Because I think it is a little bit more money to go and chop down your own tree than to buy one on a lot.
Which is weird to me, because
I know.
You think they had done the work. How do you pay more to do the work? You know, it's not like you're growing the tree and then you have to...
Everything is about experiences now. You know what I mean? People don't even, I shouldn't say they don't, but more and more, I even heard on the radio this morning on the way into work that people are buying experiences for their loved ones. You know, learn how to carve your own pig. Drive a Lamborghini. You know,
get your kids a hooker this year.
Like, what happened to punch balls or something? Or
I don't want to sound cynical, but isn't life an experience?
Right.
Even just having a conversation with somebody, you can get something out of it.
Absolutely. But yeah, apparently that's the big thing now, is buying experiences for your loved ones who say, well, I don't need anything. I already have too much of everything. You know, my dad every year, I don't need anything. You don't need to get me nothing. It's like, well, I want to get you something. Yeah. You know, so...
Yeah, you want to do something.
You know, I mean, and granted, you can't always get them something, you know, that they can hold on to, tangible or practical or whatever, But just getting ready for Christmas at this point, I guess. And
that's a wonderful thing.
We did, Tyler and I, part of my better half of Pork Chop Express, we were recently a part of the second year of Hamilton Sketch Pack.
Excellent. I was going to ask you, I saw a picture of you on stage.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So, have you been getting back into it, or?
Nope. That was the first thing I've done creatively all year.
Was it an old sketch, or was it just one you polished off? Or?
Actually, there were 2 sketches that we kind of repurposed, and we had a running through line, which kind of flopped, really, in my personal opinion. It didn't really go very well. So we repurposed 2 sketches, and then one night we were sitting down together, and we were looking at an old sketch, but he didn't like the way it was written, so we wanted to kind of just banter back and forth, much like the way you and I do, and we ended up writing probably the funniest sketch of the 3 sketches that we did that night.
Very cool.
Yeah, so, and we were just laughing at each other when he was sitting at, he types on the computer while I sit there and talk, and we're sitting there chit-chatting.
Now, you said it's called the Pork Chop Express?
That's the name of the troupe, yeah.
Your troupe?
Yeah.
And who's in this troupe with you?
Myself and Tyler Brent.
Very cool. Yeah. You may have mentioned that in the last show, that you were...
I might have, yeah.
Maybe, but if not, that's why I wanted to promote it. Yeah. Is this something that you might be working on in the new year? Or is it just...
You know what, it would be really nice to mount a full show again. It's been a long time since I mounted a full show.
Would it be hard to do now with the kids and stuff?
It's
maybe
a little,
when they're a little older, but...
I think, you know what, Rebecca's great about, you know, and my parents are great about watching the kids, and I like to have Rebecca at the shows for support. She's a really great supporter. So I like to have her there for that. But
does she find you funny?
Not so much at home. Yeah. On stage,
I find this
sometimes
a lot more.
yes.
I find that more and more.
Yeah.
I've met comedians that say,
no.
"Yeah, they don't really get my humor.
No,
and
she
don't come to
doesn't
the
think I'm funny
show."
at
At
all.
least she comes to support you.
I think she's pretty funny, but yeah, no. She comes out to support. But I would like to do a show, but I think if we did a show, because we are a two-man troupe, I would like to have maybe it be almost like a variety show in a sense.
Like
so you have a
people with
comedian, maybe an acoustic guitarist or a piano or something. Somebody that
would be lovely.
Yeah, somebody that can lend and maybe have like much like you have your co-hosts, have like guest stars kind of thing where you have people and maybe they only are in a sketch or two, but you have them as kind of it's almost like
I am available.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Is that does that come off as too pathetic? No.
But yeah, no, I'd like to see us do something in the new year, but
yeah, I would love to see you guys.
If I'm being truthful,
because I've seen the two of you work together before in Ugly Sticks. And
yes.
Yeah,
we have a good rapport, and we've known each other over 10 years now, so we're comfortable with each other's idiosyncrasies, I guess.
Yeah, and that helps too.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, even after 10 years, we still find one another pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy when you're doing a show. You need people you can count on.
Absolutely.
Because I've worked with people that you're like, are they even going to come to the rehearsal? Are they going to And then I've worked with people that are just so easy that you're just like, I have no worries because I know I can count on them. They'll be there. And that can be frustrating. So at least when you work with somebody for so long, you get a sense of, well, I know them. I know if they're going to be late, if they're going to be there, but they're going to be there, kind of.
Exactly. No, I agree. And you know what? Even I don't really like to go back and talk too much about the Ugly Sticks anymore because it's past. But that was the mixed bag that was the Ugly Sticks. Somebody was always late. Somebody was always, spot on their lines. Other people were dragging their ass and they didn't know their lines.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it was a frustrating yet rewarding experience because the end product was always good. And I always knew I could count on those people to put forth their best effort come show night. It was all the effort leading up to it.
And that's see, I'd like to be prepared with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in shows where it looked like this is going to be an absolute train wreck, and then it all comes together, and they're just like, "See, we told you." And I'm like, I still would like to know it's not going to be a train wreck
exactly.
before it starts.
Yep. No, I agree with you.
So did being back on stage get that bug in you
Absolutely.
again?
You know what? Actually, Rebecca had said that was the most nervous she had ever seen me. And
just because you hadn't done it in so long?
I think that was part of it. I think also the other part is that I felt very underprepared. Tyler and I did not have a lot of time to work on it this year. So I think that's why some of the stuff that we did didn't go as well as I had hoped it would go. But yeah, I was very nervous this year. But once you get on stage, for me, and I'm sure for you as well, it goes away.
Yeah.
It just goes away. And
I do have that excited nervousness before I go on.
Absolutely.
When I feel that the audience is clicking, I really just don't even think about it anymore.
No,
I just think,
it's like
we're in a good place now.
It's almost like it's a fluid movement. You know what I mean? You have that nervous energy, and then you get going, and you're on stage, and like you say, you're clicking, and then you seamlessly kind of just fall into it.
For those of you who don't perform, it's just a magical moment because you can tell when the audience is there with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's I'm not trying to compare it like sex, but it is almost like you just know you have them, and they're being very welcoming to you, mm-hmm. and it's just an amazing feeling. That's why I asked you if you think it's coming back, and it's
whenever I do it, it is always there. But
well, the last time you were on the show, you were just going to do a show.
Yes.
That night, even.
Yeah, I believe so.
And so when I saw you back on stage, I was surprised. I said, "Oh, that's good."
Mm-hmm.
So I just wondered if this might be the start of you slowly coming back.
I don't. I think that's still a little ways off.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is something you're thinking.
It is something that always crosses my mind.
Any other projects that are in your head that you would like to...
I like to write, so I mean, I try to be a little more diligent than I am about writing, about sitting down at the computer and writing things out, or even speaking into my phone and doing like the voice recording, so I can keep some ideas, But I like to write, and I honestly, I wouldn't mind writing some children's fiction.
Nice.
And my brother Greg is a really talented artist.
Great.
And I would like to even maybe write comics. I would like to write comic books. I've been reading them since I was, 10. So
I used to want to be a comic strip artist back, because people don't really talk about comic strips anymore.
No,
but
they
when we
don't.
were growing up, comic strips were huge. You'd Sunday Funnies.
Yes,
and then,
I looked forward to the Sunday Funnies every week.
I used to cut out the ones I really liked and glue them in a book. So
Oh, really?
Yes, I did. Because then I would read them back again, and then they'd eventually turn orange and fall off. And...
We would put them on the
But
refrigerator.
comic strips were huge, and then it just seemed to die out. They're still there.
Are they still there?
Yes, there are
thing.
still newspapers, and there are still some of the old favorites, and then some new ones. But I don't think there's been a really iconic one since
maybe Calvin and Hobbes, Garfield.
Calvin and Hobbes, that Bloom County sometimes
Bloom
comes
County,
back.
sure,
I think they just made a thing. Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes is probably one of the last big ones.
Yeah.
But you don't really hear of them as much.
No.
Some of them weren't really that funny, but there were only 4 frames, so who cares?
Well,
you just read them and move on.
They say printed media is dying off, They say that...
Well, there used to be a site, and there probably still is, where you could go and look at all the daily ones.
Yeah, now see, that would be fun.
Yeah, just remember them all and stuff like that.
No, I work for the library, and they keep saying, the library is each year our readership, converts more and more to digital,
like
print.
computers and stuff like that. Yeah.
So
it's kind of weird, isn't it?
It is. I think it's still a ways off. Do
you think that, or do you just hope that?
Part of me hopes that it's a ways off, at least for the next 20 years, and then I can retire.
Yeah.
And then it can go all digital. I could care less.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't think of that kind of stuff. We've seen stuff in our lifetime that's gone extinct. Typewriters.
Yeah. Yes.
Who would have thought? Sure, they're keyboards now, but typewriters with the
actual typewriters. Yeah.
So I was thinking the other day, libraries might, they'll still have forms of them, but
they will. Libraries have become a lot recent in the past few years, more about public service programming.
Yeah.
Where they are trying to get the younger readers to come in for programs like that, touch on subjects that the kids are into, like electronics or coding is one that they've offered this year, like coding for computers and stuff like that, so that you can create your own programs and things of that nature.
Right.
Yeah. And then, of course, they have stuff for the older citizens as well, right? Senior citizens and stuff. Where they, there are still book clubs and things of that nature.
Large print books.
Yes, large print books, yeah. So,
well, I'll leave you on a positive note so you don't think it's totally going to go away. You know how all these e-readers and Kobos have been taken over? I hear this year it's actually gone back to paper again.
Excellent.
I heard that the sales in, actual hardcopy books is up again.
Right.
So...
My job is secure.
For 20 years. Who cares after that, right? Goodbye, libraries.
That's right. Goodbye, libraries. Go away.
So please help Doug and visit a library and see the programs they have. Which library are you at?
Right now, I actually work for technical services, and we are responsible for getting all of the print and non-print material to all of the branches.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
So, yeah, I actually work currently out of Stony Creek. Is where our offices are. They also have a branch there, but we are moving back to the central branch in the new year.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
We are done this segment. I got to know you again.
All right.
I
Excellent.
remember you. I remember him being here before. So we're going to take a little Christmassy turn, and we're going to talk about some Christmas specials, if we can think of any to talk about.
I'm very
still.
excited about this.
So, yeah, we're going to do a little Christmas. It's not too early. And we're going to talk about some of our favorite Christmas specials. And we got that coming up right after this. We are back with Doug Millar, my co-host tonight. And I'm so happy that you came back.
Well, thank you again.
And we are closing in on Christmas. And I thought, since we talked about Saturday morning TV, that you must have special memories of retro Christmas specials.
I absolutely do, yes.
And I want to talk to you about them.
Great.
Because I love that. Because I think it makes people warm inside when they hear things. Let's start with Rankin and Bass. The Rudolph, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Frosty the Snowman.
Sure.
Lesser, A Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yes.
But still got some moments in
Although
it.
A Year Without a Santa Claus is pretty good. That's the one with Heat Miser and Cold Miser.
Yes,
right? Yes,
and those are the best parts.
That's
of it, really.
yes, that is the best part.
Now, are you a fan of Rudolph?
A huge fan of Rudolph.
Yeah,
I'm more a fan, I think, and I enjoy the whole thing from start to finish. But like most people who watch it and have watched it, they will say that their favorite character on that episode, on the special, is Yukon Cornelius.
He's hot. Yeah.
He's the best, right? You know, it's as thick as peanut butter out here.
Yeah.
I think you mean pea soup. You eat what you want, and I'll eat what I want. I love Yukon Cornelius. He has the best lines in the entire thing.
He does. And I like the elf, Hermie.
Hermie, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I
he
think
wants to become a dentist.
I think he might be on my team a bit, you know. I want to be a dentist. It's weird that I think dentists, like, I have all respect for dentists, but the fact that you want to be in people's mouths so much intimately, it's got to be a little bit crazy in there.
There's something sketchy
You know,
about
with
that.
your impersonation of that and me doing Hermie, we could
just
take it
reenact
on the
it.
road.
Yeah.
We just need a Rudolph. So please call us if you have something.
Yes, we'll be doing auditions next week.
Yeah, I love Rudolph. It's great. Santa's a little crusty in that.
Yes.
And the theme of Rudolph will pass by because it's Christmas, but it is, you know, you're a freak until you
be
find a way to
ashamed
use
of
it.
yourself.
It is kind of life, though. If we can find a use for you, then you're good.
Yes.
But if you're not,
Then
so,
we're going to put baby in the corner, and please don't come out, you freakish, garish thing.
even Santa's the one, like, you know, cover that up, you know, like, you know,
Put that away.
put that red thing away. Which really should be in every Christmas episode.
Absolutely.
I am a huge fan of Santa Claus Coming to Town. I know it doesn't get as much love, but I love that Santa was kick-ass, and he was always trying to... I never understood why he didn't try to go to other towns.
No, I mean, and when he was younger, he was a redhead. Not many people may know this.
I know.
He was a redhead, and he would jump from rooftop to rooftop.
Yeah.
And he had a pet penguin, I believe.
Yeah. His name is Topper.
Topper.
And that, the wizard, the winter warlock, you know.
And
Nobody's given me a toy.
Yeah.
But it's also got one of the most controversial songs. That one, if you sit on my lap today,
yes.
a kiss, a toy is the price you'll pay.
That's right.
You say that if you're a Santa working in a mall, you say that, they'll have you out of that
That's
store.
right, you'll be in jail.
He's enjoying that lap sitting way too much.
Now, does that say something about Santa or Mickey Rooney, who voiced Santa in that episode? In that special?
I don't know if he improv for that. I don't know if they let that happen. Like, you know.
No, that, you know what? Surprisingly, it is one of the lesser known ones, but in my household, it's my oldest son's favorite.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
good. I like him already.
Like I like when they introduce the Kringles.
Get the Kringles.
There's Flingle, Kringle, and like
Tingle,
Tingle,
Swingle. Like they could just go on.
Like,
And Tanta Kringle, you know
Tanta.
Tanta. It's a great Mrs.
matriarch,
Claus is
yeah.
hot, like
Yes.
everything, you know.
The young Mrs. Claus is quite attractive. I have never been more attracted to a stop animation character in my lifetime.
Yeah, she was just awesome.
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman, another classic. I don't know why why they just did animation for
Yeah, I
that,
don't
because they
know.
didn't do a lot. I
No.
think they did some.
Yeah.
'Twas the Night Before Christmas, I think.
Yes, is another Rankin and
and
Bass, yes.
But like all their other ones, like Little Drummer Boy, Nestor, the sad-ass, long-eared.
Yeah.
That is such a depressing Christmas special. I threatened to let Mike see it this year. I think he's seen it before, but I rewatched it recently and said, this is horribly sad.
Yeah. Well, yes,
and I love it because of that.
Yes.
But I love, my favorite part of Frosty is, it's a charming little, Jimmy Durante,
I know, Jimmy. Oh, Frosty, he was great that day.
But I bring this up. If you talk to me at any time about Frosty the Snowman, what's up with the final scene where Santa drops Penny off on her roof with no visible way of getting down?
In? Well, I got in the chimney. That's where you're going.
See you next year! And she's on the roof. Like, there's no chimney, there's no fire escape.
And do her parents even care that she's been gone this whole time?
Bare-legged.
Yeah,
she's
bare-legged.
Cuddled up with a snow man. Like,
yep.
She should have had, like, all kinds of frostbite. Yeah. And as I said, one of my... I have a friend that loses it every time Frosty dies, but the fact that it's a 22-minute special, and they have a montage of his best bits, which is just basically the 10 minutes we saw before. I love any movie that does that, like quick flashbacks to tell us what an awesome guy he was. What was I going to say? So I love the Rankin and Bass. We have to mention Charlie Brown.
Absolutely. It's one of my all-time favorites.
It's one of the first. It was the first Peanuts one. And
yep.
I love that it takes on everything. It takes on merchandising. It takes on spirituality. Yep. It takes on, commercialism. Before there was... Well, let's be honest, there's always been commercialism in Christmas.
Sure.
But... it takes on all those heavy things, but still is a charming...
It's just a warm-your-heart kind of feel-good. I mean, when Charlie Brown is so dejected, all he wants to do is help this poor little defenseless tree, that can't even hold a single ball on it. And he gets ridiculed for it, and it takes Linus, to come in and,
his moment.
Yeah, has his moment, center stage, with the spotlights.
I like that he's got theatrics, click, boom, it's just the sound.
He finds his light right away. But, it's that whole giving back day. As soon as, Charlie Brown comes home, he's all dejected. He sees his dogs, gone commercial, and he's done. He's had it. But then they all come in and, through the magic of animation... Sorry. They all, fix up his tree, and all of a sudden the tree doesn't have 3 branches. It's a full Christmas tree.
Yeah, they wave their hands.
Yes,
there's a lovely spoof of it where all these kids wave their hands and magic happens.
It's a tree.
Yeah, it's a beautiful one, and I'm sure people are getting warm fuzzies.
I still watch it to this day, and not a Christmas goes by where I don't watch it.
Now, you've actually been researching some holiday stuff. I am impressed, because I told him we're going to talk, and he was watching all these classics.
I did, yeah. You know what? I've always been a big fan of Christmas, but last year I watched Bing Crosby's last Christmas special.
With the David Bowie song.
With the David Bowie and the Little Drummer Boy song, and it was so cheesy. And his older son and older daughter seem very talented to me, and then the youngest one, I don't know what it is with the youngest one of these clans. Poor Jimmy Osmond gets the shit end of the stick. This Bing Crosby, who seemed to favor the youngest one in this show, in this special, didn't, in my opinion, spoke the most like Bing, but had the least amount of talent of his children, but was featured more prominently than his other 2 children in this special.
Sadly, when you're telling this, I'm supposed to be endeared at some point.
I know.
Then I remember that Bing Crosby had a phase of a mommy dearist.
Yes.
He had books written about him being abusive.
Beat my kids with a bag of Valencia oranges.
Oranges! Oranges! Oh my God! You remember that too?
Yes, of course.
Don't make me get the oranges. We used to get oranges in our stockings. Right. That scared the shit out of me because I thought Bing Crosby was going to come.
Are you going to beat me with those? And there was a scene where I love these. This was filmed, I believe, in 1972. I believe it was, possibly. And I watched some older ones. The Judy Garland special, which was lovely, and that was, I believe, back in '67. I want to say.
Yeah, young Liza, like teenage Liza.
And then
and everybody should watch the Judy Garland one.
It's fun.
It's fun, and there's a sadness to it. You can feel, she's losing her voice and stuff. Like when she Over the Rainbow doesn't sound like Dorothy anymore. It's like, somewhere. Well, it's not that bad. They weren't flicking cigarette butts.
And her kids, come out and I'm, prompted to, Mommy, can you sing that song that you do for us every year? Sure you do, Judy. Sure you do. Yeah, but Liza was the up-and-comer, and we talked about this.
Yeah, and how there was supposed to be some animosity. You see Judy, who's still elegant in this.
Yeah, beautiful.
There's moments where she honestly looks like, because I think it was a live special when it aired.
It seemed to me very...
And it looks like there's moments where she just wants a drink so bad, or like a cigarette, because she's just like, oh, you do your dance. Yeah. And it's like... I think they should have had an open bar in some aspects and stuff.
Well,
and the dancing Santas just blows me away every time. Every show should have just
high kicks from men. You can't go wrong.
You got to see it to believe in it. I believe you can see it on YouTube.
Yes, you can. Yeah, absolutely, full episode.
It's become one we watch every year. But as gay men, me and Mike, I think we have.
I think it's mandatory.
I want to talk about this one because it blew me away that you knew it. The Bing Crosby,
Frank Sinatra.
It's a half-hour show.
That was from '57, I believe.
Yeah, and it's more like a commercial.
It is.
It's for not really a special, but it's just these two guys hanging out. We should remake this, I think. And they're like talking like, just like, do people talk like
this?
Like,
exactly.
It's almost flirtation. It's almost like, you imagine they're going to hit the sheets together after. Blah, 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 blah. But I always ruin White Christmas for Mike, because there's parts in White Christmas when he sings that song in the original. Mm-hmm. He sounds like he's getting blown. Like, blah, 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 I'm dreaming. Okay, I don't want to ruin the song for anybody.
It's a beautiful song.
But I think he was being blown.
Yeah, it's quite possible. They say that, hey, I mean, if, Jim Morrison was doing it 20 years later, somebody had to be the precursor to that, be the forefather.
Yeah,
Why not Bing Crosby?
Yeah.
He was in the studio. Yeah. Nobody could see what was going on.
And he'd hit you with oranges if you didn't.
That's right.
Get your lips ready.
Do you want me to take off my belt?
Yes, this is a Christmas special. No. It's a great, though, half hour.
No, it is. The thing I liked the most, apart from the banter that they had, which seemed so affected, was that...
You're a clever gypsy.
Yeah. Was that Frank Sinatra, who seems, in this earlier thing, seems kind of stale almost, or maybe he was going for stoic, I don't know, but... he introduced the show. We're going to do a Christmas show for you now, and it's going to be accented by our songs. Accented by, you got to give me the rundown of what this is going to be.
Yeah.
And then he pimps out Bulova watches and Chesterfield cigarettes. My cigarette. And he literally says, my cigarette. Like no joke is we're pimping cigarettes. Yeah. We're pimping beautiful watches. And then Bing waltzes in and says, here. Merry Christmas. Have a gift I got you. It's my record.
It's my Christmas album.
There's some great songs on there. Great for any Christmas time. And I know you'll want to listen to it. And Frank's like, and here's my Christmas record. And it's got great songs and you'll want to listen to it. And
then they're drinking and then they're just hey, why don't you sing one of your favorites? So Santa's coming to town tonight. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Just crazy. And you got it again. I think it's on YouTube.
It is. Full episode.
We should remake it. Will it translate nowadays? I wish we lived like this.
I would like to do something like that, but a parody of that.
Yeah. But nobody would know it'd be a parody, because I don't think many people have seen it, except you're really old.
Yes.
Or people smart enough to go YouTube it after this show, not during. After.
That's right. Yes. Those are some of the things you should check out. They're all on YouTube. The Judy Garland Christmas special, which is just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
the last show that Bing Crosby did with his family.
I'm going to watch that this year. I don't think I've seen it all.
And the Frank Sinatra one.
Right, and I told you Osmond's 1978. They've done a lot, but you need to see the family reunion.
Yes, 1978 for that one,
The 78, the Osmonds, because you'll see, the parents singing, and it's crazy. And, we do kind of a whole Mystery Science Theater thing with a lot of these specials, and And I was also telling you the Sonny and Cher. There's a great little DVD that has 3 of their episodes, and it chronicles their happiness to the divorce, and you see them being so happy together, and then the last special, they're just like, we're friends sharing the kids on the weekend.
Let's shake hands.
Like,
Merry
there's
Christmas.
even an awkward moment where Cher brings out, like, Elijah from Greg Allman, like her child from the other. And
oh, really?
you can tell, like, Sonny's nowhere near because it's just... But, you know, there's still some amazing stuff in it because they were really...
They're talented.
Good performers.
Yes, they were. They were very talented.
And, you know, you might think Cher was more talented, but Sonny he wrote all this music, and he only put her name on it just because he's getting laid.
Well, and you know what? Let's face it, like, she was a tall drink of water, she was a beautiful woman, and sex sells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even back then.
Yes.
But, yeah, amazing. Now, any Christmas movies that you have to watch every year?
In my house, we have, let me see if we will always watch Home Alone, Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story.
Yeah. Going down all my usual suspects.
By myself, I will watch It's a Wonderful Life by myself. Nobody else likes to watch it with me.
Oh.
It's a lot when it's on TV.
Because
I know,
they cut it, yeah.
But it's like 3 hours long on television. I don't know.
You should spend the money and then you'll have a wonderful life
There you
shorter. That sounds weird.
You know,
It's shorter, wonderful life.
What I should do is I should actually go to the library. The library has a great program with their Express DVDs.
Okay.
And they have, I mean, anything. All Christmas movies, any Christmas movie under the sun. Pretty much anything. Or a Christmas special, for that matter.
Now, are you a fan of the Alistair Sims Christmas Carol?
I do like it, yes.
I like it, but it is, like, Mike can't, like, he'll watch it, but he just thinks it's very boring.
It is a little slow.
It's very slow. I just wait for the scene where the cameraman's in the... you can actually see the cameraman, I believe, in one of the mirror scenes, but it is,
yeah.
but I like it still. Like, I like the old style of it, but it's, a lot of people just don't like that pacing that they used to do in the old movies, but, you know, it's one that a lot of people still love.
Still holds up. A lot of people still enjoy it, you know, and younger, like, I mean, I don't know about younger than us, but our generation and maybe a little bit younger were growing up on it with their, you know, mums and dads and grandparents because that's what their mom and dad grew up on, and that was something that their grandparents watched when TV first came about.
Yeah, when they didn't have as much selection.
Yeah.
Now everybody's done Christmas Carol, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
I was watching Vincent Price narrate.
Yeah, there you go. That was a brilliant one. Henry Winkler. Boy, you never mentioned that one to my dad. In the 70s, when he was the Fonz, he did Ebenezer Scrooge, and my dad hated that one. I think there's a musical version with Albert Finney. George C. Scott did a version with Mickey Mouse, the Muppets.
Everybody's done it. Yeah, everybody's done their take on it.
Blackadder did one, I think.
Blackadder has a Christmas special,
but
and it is Scrooge-esque, but it's not a direct take from it. But yeah, that's actually, I'm surprised, not surprised actually, but I am surprised that you brought it up. Because that is one that I watch by myself again every year.
If you get your hands on it, it's a little saucy and not for everyone, but Carry On has a whole bunch of Christmas, but the one they do that is a take on it is pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it's just a little, you know, Carry On gang. They were a little saucy. Speaking of British, I love the Mr. Bean one, too.
Yes, Mr. Bean Christmas special.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
I like a good Mr. Bean special.
That was a great one, too.
There's so much funny in that, but the nativity scene just... Can you look at another nativity scene?
Not the same way.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, you need to check it out. Now, we were talking about David Bowie and Bing Crosby.
Yes.
Did you ever hear the backstory about that song?
No.
I heard it one Christmas. They were talking about it. It's not necessarily the best, but it made something beautiful. He came on the show, and they said, Bing wants to do a little drummer boy with you. And he basically was like, I don't want to do that song. I hate that song. And he refused to do it. And they literally had to hold up production, and they wrote that, you know, Peace on earth.
Yeah.
Because Bing does the little drummer boy.
Yes.
Because Bing was like, I'm doing a little drummer boy. This is mine. I'm going to hit you with oranges if you don't want it.
And so Bowie...
And Bowie demanded that he will not just do Little Drummer Boy. And so they made that whole thing, and he liked it. And the next thing you know, that's how the harmony comes.
No kidding.
And there's a beautiful parody that Phil Hartman does, I believe.
Oh,
Phil
really?
Hartman? No, Will Ferrell.
Okay.
And I want to say John C. Reilly of that. And if you get a chance to see that, it is hilarious.
Is that
the
on
video.
YouTube?
Yes.
All right.
Look for it because
Okay.
I don't think it's a Saturday Night Live.
It's just
So I think it is on YouTube because
Well,
I know
I
a
would
lot
like
of
to see
Saturday Night
that.
Live is. Anyhow, I could talk all night.
Oh, I could keep going. Are we up on our 20 minutes already?
On this one.
Oh.
But sadly, we have one more 20 minutes, and we are going to do something called Topics Tease-O-Rama.
I'm excited.
And it's an all-Christmas edition, so we still might be talking about specials. So we will get to that right after this. I am back sitting here with the lovely and delightful Doug Millar, and we're having a good time.
Hello.
And we're going to do a favorite here called Topics Tease-O-Rama, and we're going to do a Christmas edition. I don't know how this became a Christmas episode, but we're close to it.
Yeah,
so
we're
why
close
not
enough,
do it?
right?
So how Topics Tease-O-Rama works, though I'm sure you listen all the time, so I know you know. I'm talking to the readers out there. Readers? The readers. Apparently you can get this E-rated now. We pull out topics from a hat, and we talk about them until we think we've covered it.
All right.
And so we may talk about one topic. We may talk about 8 topics. I think we always hit about 7 or 8 just because we're just anxious to see what they have. So let's, Doug, you get the hat, so you get to pull it out.
Can you hear the shaking? I'm mixing them around. All right. Let's reach in.
Nothing about Bing Crosby and his tangerines.
Favorite toy you got for Christmas? Ooh. Do you have one?
I probably had many. I admit I was spoiled as a child. I would say, getting my Star Wars stuff.
Sure.
I remember I had a lot of the action figures, and I really wanted the Star Wars Death Star. And Mattel made it. But my parents got me the one Sears. It was an exclusive Sears one, and I was a little disappointed at first. And then we put it together, and I realized it's actually better. It was only cardboard, but it was actually round, and it had different rooms. And
my brother has both.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Working trash compactor.
Yes. Yeah, my brother
so you
has
know
both.
what I'm talking
I know
about.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, he went.
I may not let you leave. I like that people know, because I talk about this, and they always think of the freestanding one.
Yes, which we had as kids.
Right.
But my brother bought the round one with the cardboard Death Star, insert.
Yeah, I had so many toys, but I wish I had that Death Star still.
Yeah, no, it was a good one. For me, it was my my 12-inch... no, what you're thinking.
I was about to say, you better answer that quick, because I've got a dirty mind.
I had, do you remember Mego toys?
Mego, the dolls?
Yes, yeah. I had a 12-inch Batman.
Oh.
And it was my pride and joy. But as a kid, no child don't ever buy a child a Mego toy. They'll try and do something with it and their arm snaps.
Yeah, they were.
All of us, and my Batman had a broken leg that used to just dangle in that little leotard, and I would still play with him. I would run around.
The old limp Batman.
Yeah, oh, it was terrible.
I loved Mego dolls.
Yeah.
I had several of them. I had a lot of the Super Friends. And Wizard of Oz, I think they made a lineup.
Oh, yeah.
Or that might not have been Mego. But yeah, they're very expensive to try to buy.
So I went actually years ago, about probably 10 to 15 years ago, I found one online on eBay in the packaging, so I went out and bought it.
It would have been weird if it had that leg.
Yeah, if it had that dangly leg.
You'd probably like it, though. Awesome. I'm glad you found one.
I did. All right, next topic. First person you kiss under the mistletoe. That's going back. I don't remember, honestly. I don't remember the first person. The first person probably would have been either my dad's mom, my grandma Millar, or my mom. Yeah. Probably.
I remember we used to have it under the I remember we had mistletoe at the house, but I don't remember. As I said, I'm sure it was an ant or something. Something they cute on the cheek or something. I never had one of those erotic kisses. No. I don't think they're supposed to be erotic.
I know, should they?
In front of the whole family.
Aunt Jackie.
Yeah, well, I couldn't have had one of those romantic ones because I was in the closet for most of those times, and we don't put, things. So, okay, so we apparently we're just macking with our relatives.
That's apparently.
But I did get tongue from my aunt. No, I'm just kidding. That's horrible.
Horror Christmas movies.
Yes, do you enjoy horror Christmas movies? Because there's
I'm
the new movie Krampus coming out that I want to see.
I'm a little excited to see that too.
Yeah, it's by the people who made Trick or Treat, one of my favorite Halloween movies.
I'm not a huge fan of horror Christmas movies. That could be because I don't know a lot of them.
There's only a few, but I love Black Christmas.
Okay, yeah.
One of the first Canadian horrors.
Now, is Gremlins a horror?
Yeah, in some ways. It's kind of. Yeah, I would count
because I like Gremlins.
Gremlins is a great Christmas movie. Yeah.
But Black Christmas, what's that about?
It's about like the sorority house where this guy's like offing people, and it was filmed in Canada. It has like Margot Kidder, Olivia Hussey, and Andrea Martin. You got to see her. She's got glasses, like pre-SCTV.
No kidding.
And they've remade it, but the original's still the best. Yeah. And it's actually was the inspiration for John Carpenter's Halloween. He's even said that this little Canadian movie, it was actually an inspiration because it was a slasher flick before there was really that kind of genre stalking, and it's beautifully filmed. And interesting fact, directed by Bob Clark, who also gave us Christmas Story and Porky's. This guy, Bob Clark, should be a Canadian icon because he gave us a horror Christmas movie and a sentimental Christmas story. And the other one I really liked, and I know people are like, why do you watch these horror films, is Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Tried watching it.
The first one is really good. The other one's a crap.
Yeah.
If you're not a horror fan, I don't recommend it. It is more famous because the ads had like Santa shooting people and chopping their heads off with axes, and I've seen some of the ads. I could see why it would cause nightmares. And when I was a kid, I saw them and it bothered me. And when I got older, I decided I wanted to watch it because I was going through a dark period, and I really liked the first one. Nice. We'll move on because it's not very cheery. Also, there's a great Jack Frost one. Check that out, but not that Michael Keaton
Not the
one.
Michael Keaton one.
There's a horror that's really bad.
Because I was going to say, the Michael Keaton one is a piece of trash.
Some people say it's horror, but for the wrong reason. But it's pretty bad, but funny bad. And Dead Snow with the Nazi zombies.
I would like to see that.
But I don't think that's really Christmassy.
No,
it's good.
It's just winter.
It's good.
Giving lingerie for Christmas.
I have never
For or against?
I don't know. I remember my brother, I think, gave his girlfriend once lingerie, and as a kid I was just like, Santa makes lingerie?
I have given Rebecca a piece or two of lingerie.
Is this a story you can talk about?
Yes, this is it's PG, so
now is it like flannel nightgowns, or are we talking like edible undies?
No, clamps, nipple clamps. No, I'm kidding.
Don't give away your present this year.
No, I've given her some lingerie clothing, but I think she appreciated it. But I mean, it's one of those things that lingerie's not everyday pajamas. It's not something you wear to bed every night.
Was there feathers and all?
No feathers. Actually, and you know what? If I'm being honest, I think that maybe some of the ones that I think I bought for her, she bought for herself, and I just thought, well, that's a gift for me. Okay. So
it really
giving lingerie is a gift maybe better suited to myself than maybe to the person receiving lingerie.
Yeah, but did she enjoy getting it?
I think so, but I haven't bought any more.
Some women love it.
Yes.
And others are like, maybe not.
Yes.
I don't know. Do guys get it? Like, do you get like leather chaps or assless chaps? Well, no. I'm not saying did you.
I didn't know myself personally. No, I've never received any lingerie. Or
I've never given Mike any some strange little outfit or those underwear with the elephant.
Yeah. Here's a banana hammock. Here. Merry Christmas.
But it might be fun to see. But I'd be afraid that you wrap the wrong thing and then the
wrong person gets
grandma's opening, crotchless panties or something.
No, that's just comedy.
All right, moving along. Let me see grandma's box.
Christmas movie that always makes you cry.
Okay, well, we've talked a little bit about these.
I'd have to think.
Laugh so hard you cry, or like I'm sentimental?
I'm thinking sentimental. I'm thinking sentimental.
Well, I like to plug Olivia Newton-John. I just told you I watch. She did 2 movies, Mom for Christmas and Christmas Romance, and her life is so sad at the beginning of that. I'm always teary-eyed, and it's also like I got this thing about like people who live in farms and little things are so important to them. It gets me really like sad because I feel like I'm such an asshole. I have all this stuff and I'm still never happy, and they have like, oh, we got a book or something, and they're so excited, over the moon, and I feel like, and that always gets me teary-eyed. It's one of the first Lifetime movies. I don't know if I can think of one off the top of my head, but I know that Charlie Brown Christmas always makes me misty. Always, always. And that's not a Christmas movie per se, but it still works. It
goes in the category, and and then maybe that is why I always have to watch it alone, because I get emotional about it.
Oh, maybe you get why is Dad wearing sunglasses?
Yeah.
Well, my dad was always, he'd get misty about stuff.
Yeah.
My mother used to ridicule him about it.
Really? Yeah, Rebecca teases me pretty good.
Yeah. Like, I just like, I can't even hide it. It doesn't matter what. I cry about. I get to the stage, I don't know if I'm going through menopause or...
menopause.
Or I cry over everything. Like, everything's sentimental with me now. But my mother used to, like, just be really... Because she was, like, tough German. Yeah, when I cry, it'll be in the darkness. Nobody will see me. And there's my husband over there. And my mother didn't talk like that, by the way.
Killing a pig while I do it.
Yeah, she had an East German accent, so it made it worse. It's like watching Jingle All the Way or something.
Oh, God.
I don't get that toy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you know what? There are a lot of Christmas, like, I mean, the sentimental moments and Christmas specials or movies get me every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time. So I don't think there's... I don't think there's any one that makes me cry over the other one. I'm a big baby over all of them.
We should have a movie night where we all just cry. I'll invite all of my sensitive friends and just pass the Kleenex box around. And the Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Stop Haagen-Dazs ice cream!
Yeah.
Sorry, bad German joke.
Yuletide Log Channel.
Okay, first of all, I always giggle when I hear Yuletide Log.
Yes. And why wouldn't you?
Do you enjoy the channel? Do you ever put it up? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely know.
I think I have a DVD with it.
And I think I've put it on a handful of times.
It's nice. Yeah. I like to put my own music and have it.
Yes.
I remember I used to put it on, and it was around Christmas, and then I just talked with people, and then I just have it on in the background. And I remember feeling warm. Like, I'd actually, I need to turn on a fan. Like, it's psychologically...
We have a little fireplace at our home, so
you don't need
it's a little redundant. The one's going on the floor and the one's on the TV.
Do you remember the one year they had the rotisserie chicken?
Yes.
What's that for fat people?
Yeah, look,
I'm a bigger person, and I don't want to look at food cooking. What am I going to order chicken every 5?
It was good. It was very smart because every time I watched, I was like, you know what? I could go for some Swiss chalet. I like Swiss chalet. Honey, let's call them. You know,
it has nothing to do with Christmas, but I bought Mike a aquarium one because I thought it was relaxing, and Mike so he watched it, and I said, so what did you think? He goes, there's a moment where they brutally kill this, snail or turtle or whatever it was. And I go, you're kidding me. And he goes, no. How is that relaxing? And I said, only Mike would find, an aquarium thing where, apparently there's this predator thing, and it's like nobody's watching the camera. Okay, put that on the DVD. We'll sell that.
Put that. The snail bites it in the second 20 minutes.
I do have to say, my favorite part of the Yuletide is the odd time you catch that hand coming in with the poker.
Stirring the coals.
It's like, who is that? Yeah. Have celebrities. Martin Short, you know. Okay.
All right. Next, favorite Christmas food.
Could be anything.
It could be anything. You know what? I like turkey. I'm a big fan of turkey, but I like turkey at Thanksgiving. I like turkey at Easter. I mean, that's just such a cop-out.
I love when people just make turkey for no reason.
For no reason at all.
That's the best.
My mom's Christmas cookies.
Oh.
Yeah.
What kind are they?
They run the gamut. ginger snaps, shortbread, chocolate dip shortbread. Sometimes she'll make chocolate-covered peanut butter balls.
Oh, nice.
She makes Belgian cookies, which is like 2 shortbreads, jam in the middle, and they're sandwiched together with a little icing on top and a little sliver of a maraschino cherry in the icing. And they're, beautiful. Those cookies are so good.
My mother did a lot of baking that I really loved, but she made these rum balls around the holidays that, well, we're going back to the 70s, 80s, so I think these were like 80 proof or something. Don't keep an open flame by them once they're finished. But I remember they were just like trying them as a kid, and it was just like, yeah, because rum as a kid is just like, actually rum now, I'm not a big drinker, but everybody loved them just because.
I think as a teenager you would have found me under your Christmas tree.
Well, actually, yeah, you would have probably loved it. The kids, when we got older, we'd be allowed to have friends over, and my dad would make. We'd be allowed to have a drink.
Oh, nice.
Even as teenagers, but my dad, as he got drunker, the mix and the ratio. So the kids love coming to our house because you're getting like pretty much all whiskey and just a little bit of thing, and they're just like, "Ooh, yeah, this is great, but we got to go to Stan Bishop's house today."
After one Christmas drink, they're under the table.
But yeah, I like all the treats and stuff, Toblerone and
is there any
Rocheferoy.
Oh yeah.
I get that from my niece. She gets me always when it's almost a tradition, and they're nice. I really enjoy them, and that's the only time I eat them. Because I get enough chocolate, but I also like the Toblerone because there's a taste that
I like it too.
It's almost like a rubber taste too, but I love it.
It's the nougat.
I know the nougat. Nougat's weird because
it's a strange word in itself.
I know, but a good one.
Yes. Nougat.
What's our next topic?
Our next topic is Christmas too commercialized? Abso-fruit-a-lootly.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, eh?
No.
Counterpoint.
It's always, we're finally going to have a battle. No, people tell me this, and I go, when I look back at the 50s and 60s, it seems like it was just as.
Yes.
But Macy's parade and stuff.
Now, if you had asked me if it was too commercialized back then, I probably would have said yes back then, too.
Right.
We're not comparing the two so much, but I think that, and maybe, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
So, it's what you grew up with.
Not to mention, isn't everything commercialized nowadays?
Absolutely.
Like everything. If we can make money on it, they'll find a way. My big thing is, they always say, is it too commercialized? It's all about the gift giving. The first Christmas, they brought Jesus gifts. Don't want to get religious here, but they bought gold, okay? How can you top, like, bars of gold or whatever? And who brings gold to us?
This is your spiritual moment.
This is my line.
This is your spotlight moment, yes.
But I always joke. I said the first Christmas was all about, like, traveling to give these gifts. So it was kind of commercialized then.
Yeah, fair
They
enough.
put the star out. That gave us, it's almost like a big department store. Come on in, sale,
Yeah. Come buy a goat.
Honestly, the thing I'm trying to hold together, now that I'm in retail, I see a different angle to it. Because before you're just fighting other Christmas shoppers.
Yes.
Now I see how, like, some people really do have the spirit and they're sweet and everything, but others are just so entitled. And it makes me, I'm hoping I don't get desensitized because I love Christmas.
Yeah.
It's my favorite time of year. I may like the other holidays, but Christmas is still number one for me. And I don't want to lose that because, the retail. So I'm trying to keep a
light, cheery attitude towards it.
It's tough because there's some people that are genuinely sweet, and I love talking to people about their traditions. And I love hearing little stories about, this is what we do every year and stuff. And then I hear other people that tell me sad stories or stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there are people out there that have stories that will break your heart.
Absolutely, or people who just, like, let it, they lose a spouse or they lose somebody close, and then, I talked to a young guy recently who said that, his father kind of stopped really doing the traditional stuff, and then his brother did. And he actually used the term, so Christmas is kind of dying in my house. And I said, that is a horrible term.
Yeah, that's a shame.
He told me, though, on a positive note, since we're not going to end it on a second,
Yes.
he did said he was going to try to keep it up, and his mother
good.
still loves it, and he still loves it. So, but he says it's sad that, like, you know, it used to be like everybody put the tree together, and now he's the one doing it.
All right, we're getting too dark. This is now the Christmas spirit. Let's go.
Yes,
What's the
one
next
last one?
Which celebrity would you like to find gift wrapped under your tree?
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah,
I'd have no room.
I could name dozens and dozens upon dozens.
I want to party with Shia LaBeouf. I want to party with him. I've got a weird crush on him, and he's becoming awesomely...
Just do it!
Yes! He's becoming awesomely quirky.
Yes.
He's actually... He went through a period where people are like, oh, he's going to be another lost kid actor. And now people are actually praising all the crazy stuff he's doing. Like watching all his movies backwards at a theater and inviting people to join him, where he has basically a camera so you can watch his reaction in the thing. Sleeping, yawning, eating pizza. They ordered pizza. He's quirky. I think he'd just be fun to hang out. I think he'd be intense. I think he'd be... I don't know. So,
maybe so.
And I got a weird attraction to him.
Well,
Pick one, even though there's a lot. Doesn't even have to be sexual. It could be...
Adam West.
Adam West.
Adam West. If I could spend a
awesome.
day with Adam West, I would be like, okay, I can go now. Take me anytime you want. Because the man was such a huge part of my childhood growing up, as you know. That if I could spend a day with that man, I think that I would be 10 years old again.
Have you seen the special on the Batman thing with him and Kevin Smith and a couple of other super fans?
No, I have not.
They have dinner together.
Oh, you're kidding.
And Adam West is absolutely the charming person
he would be a delight.
Yeah, you've got to check that out. Yeah. Anyhow, we are running out of time, unfortunately. We could just talk forever.
I was going to say, that is the way it goes with us, before we know what time is up.
You have a great and amazing Christmas.
You as well.
And I hope you come back for another episode.
I would be ecstatic.
We have a lot to talk about.
There are so many topics that we have yet to uncover. So.
We may have to break the 20-minute and just ramble. Because if we entertain ourselves, at least one person has to be entertained by us. Anyhow, thank you again, Doug, and thank you for listening. And I will be back to talk with you again very soon. Good night.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen, and Merry Christmas.